So hello and welcome back to this week's episode. This week we come down to Pevensey Bay. I'm fishing the tide out, so I don't usually fish on the sand, so this is pretty much a first for me. We're going to fish the tide out to low and then back in a couple of hours. We're travelling pretty light tonight. I'm fishing with Cliff, so we're going to say hello to Cliff in a minute as well. He's just setting up at the moment. And I've literally just got a backpack, rod and tripod and bait, and that is literally it. Like I said, I don't want to lose anything out on the sand. I've done it before, which kind of puts me off fishing on the sand, but hey, we've got to give it a go. Big fish have been caught out on the sand, so you know, let's do it. So here he is then, the boy wonder. How we doing, son? You alright?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
Ready to rock and roll?
Almost ready with the first one.
Yeah?
Going to get the first one out and then get the second one ready. Using fluorocarbon rig tonight. Give it a try, see what happens. Free hook flapper. Got to try it.
Well, that's what we're going to do, mate. Look at that.
That's the easy way.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Looks awesome.
It looks good.
Nice and calm, but not too still.
Right guys, so baits wise tonight, I'm literally going to be going for bluey and squid there as well. Cliff's got some ragworm, so we'll mess around with that. Right, so Cliff is literally into one straight away. To a fish straight away. Looks like a dogfish or a smooth hound. Is it a dogfish or a smooth hound? And first fish of the night onto the sand is a dogfish. Dogfish to Cliff. Right, so rigs wise tonight, really simple. I've just literally made a running ledger onto the end of my line. So the end of my line's here, the white braid. It's got a bead, a zip slider with my weight on, another bead, and then a trident clip, which is there, and then straight onto my snood. The reason I've used the trident clip is just so I can unclip and clip on different snoods through the night if I decide I want to add another snood and the fishing gets busy. Straight to the hook there, which is there. And the hooks we're using tonight are the Cox & Rule Surf and Up Tides in 2.0, and that is it. I'm just going to bait up squid and bluey, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's baited up, and then we'll get it cast out. Right, so the first bait I'm going for then is just a bluey. Because these are so small, we're just literally going to cut them straight in half, and then I'm just going to feed the hook straight down into the head, and then wrap the rest of the body. Again, like I said before in my previous videos, just wrapping all the way up to the top to keep the bluey in place. I mean, you could pennel this potentially. It might have made it a little bit easier. The second hook at the top would have held the top of the fish, but for tonight we're just going super simple, super easy. One hook in the bait, and I'm just going to bang it out and see how we get on with that. So there's the bait. Let's try and catch a fish. Right, and all we're going to do for the cast is we're just going to take the fish, hook the hook onto the prong of the lead, like so. And we're just going to cast it out like that. A nice big loop underneath the bottom. Once that hits, it should fall off, and we should have one bait fish in. Right, so into the abyss we go. Water's pretty chocolated up, so hopefully we'll be able to catch a nice fish tonight. Just going to come a little bit over this side out the way of Cliff. Now I'm just going to fire one off into the distance. Happy days. Happy days. Again, fishing with the drag nice and loose. If we do catch a fish, it's just going to take the line. Right, so on my second rig I've decided to use a pennel. And the reason for that is we can just fish a whole fish then, really. So we're just literally going to place my pennel hook on the top. Pennel hook has a slight curve to the eye at the top. I'm literally just going to place that straight on, and then let that run all the way down the bottom of my line to the other end, and then we'll just tie our bottom hook on, and hopefully this will enable us to fish a whole bluey, or whole one of those mini blueys. And throw a slightly bigger bait out, or whole squid, or whatever we want to do. Right, I'm just going to take the whole bluey there, just going to literally cut off the tail just to let the scent out the top. There, this is quite a big bait, so we'll get away with the two hooks. First hook's going straight down into the head of the fish, like so, pushing that round and then through the head. There. I'm going to grab my bait elastic, which is here. I'm just going to wrap this fish in elastic. Just going around the bottom of the hook to keep it nice and still, running all the way up the top of the fish, nice and easy. And you're coming just back down the fish, just to keep that line nice and tight. A couple more twists around the hook there. And then the top hook will just sit in the top of the bait, which we will do now. Wrap it around a couple of times and then we will hook it into the bait. And just pull that tight. And then we have our 2 hooks in the bait, one at the bottom there, one at the top there, and our second bait is ready to go. Right, so is that it again?
Fishy number 2.
Fishy number 2 on the small rigs. That's on a ragworm, isn't it?
It's on rag, yeah.
On ragworm.
Size 2 hooks.
Size 2 hooks, a small pin whiting. Right, just having a mooch around then, just having a quick mooch around, see what it's about, if there's anything about. So we're fishing predominantly just straight shingle onto sand, really. There's quite a lot of sand down at Pevensey Bay. I mean, once the tide goes out, it is pretty much sand forever. But we'll have a look around the groin, see if we can find any tackle or any loose bits and pieces. Yeah, and we're just going to fish it out, really. Just going to give it a go. So I haven't been out for the last week, really, or week and a bit. So this is the first session for a while. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. We all have a duty just to take care and we'll cut the line off the groin. I mean, looks like it's probably just going around it, feeling around it, see if there's any leads or anything like that attached to it, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like someone's physically attached this to the groin. Maybe they've attached it to the groin with some hooks on and then tried to come back for it at low tide. So I'm just going to cut straight through the line here, just holding on to it with one hand, and hopefully that will cut round. Oh, I can see the top of a rig. Looks like a rig. Swivel at the top. Quite a lot of it. I don't know if I can get round it without dropping it into. I think that's it. That's it. So there's quite a lot of line there. I can't see a lead, but we'll come back when the water's gone down a little bit and investigate a little bit more. Right, so yeah, we're on to a bit of an adventure already. Just traipsed through the first bit of flooding water over onto the next sandbank. So I'm now set up as close to the water as physically possible. The bait's cast out and away we go. So I've had 3 chucks, 3 blue baits, 3 chucks out. Not much is happening on my side. Cliff's had a dogfish, 4 whiting, I believe, and he's just throwing out another bait now. So yeah, the night started pretty good. Fish are showing. Like I say, I'm fishing for the bigger fish tonight, hopefully. So if anything's out there, it's going to be either a dogfish, you know, a ray or a bass or anything like that. Hopefully, that is my plan. So we'll see what happens. I'm having a couple of bites, which is good, but just haven't been able to connect to anything yet. So we'll see what the night brings. Right guys, so not much is happening over on my side. Cliff's pulled in a couple of whiting and a dogfish. I'm just going for the big fish tonight, really. I'm proper simplifying everything. So I'm, like I said before, just simplified running ledger rig, just using minimal components, and I'm just fishing really, just having some fun. Yeah, I've had a couple of wiggles here and there. I thought I had a fish at one point. But unfortunately I reeled into nothing. So there's definitely fish out there, man. I say if we were fishing smaller hooks, we'd probably be pulling in a lot more. But you know, the game tonight is just a patience game, just to try and fish, just to try and catch one decent, nice big fish. So we'll see what the night brings us. Hopefully we'll catch a fish. Righto, so the next bait going out then is a whole squid. Still on the Cox and Rule hooks, just small 2-0 hook there. Nice big bait, and we'll throw that out and see what happens. I'm getting some movement on the rod. But nothing is committed to taking the bait yet. Right, and so first fish for me of the night. Not a bad sized dogfish, to be fair. Taken on the squid. So we're going to get him unhooked and we're going to get him back in. Oh, look at that. A clam on the lead.
Hitchhiker.
Hitchhiker. Well, you cast out and lost some bait, but you gained a little bit of bait. Happy days.
That makes me feel better.
Righto then, so fish number 2. A decent sized whiting, which has taken a whole bluey on a pennel, which is yeah, very peculiar. Fishes are hungry, they're going to eat the big stuff. Right, and so the fishing's pretty slow for me, to be fair. Like I say, I am fishing with big baits, so that's a standard 10 centimeters is roughly the size you can take in the Southern Ithaca, I believe. I'll have to double check it though. I'll put it in the description of the video of razor fish. But look at the size of that one. It's a hench one. Nearly the same size as my hand. Proper big razor fish down here, man. Proper big. I've had a look for about 5 minutes. I've got about 5 or 10 of them. But yeah, that's a nice big size bait, that is. Nice big size bait. Might wrap that up and get it out in a second. Right, so I'm just going to wrap up the big razor fish that we found earlier. Check the hook's nice and tight, which is good. Slide this off the bait meat tool. Get it off. There we go. Wrap that nice and tight on there. That's proper tight. And just take the top hook down to meet the bait. Wrap it around 2 or 3 times. Nick it in the top. And that is a nice bait, that is. Nice razor fish bait, all wrapped up, ready to go. Happy days. Right guys, so we've reached the low tide. The tide is now on a turn. It's on the turn on the way back up. This is the reason why we came here tonight. We want to fish the flood part, so from low back up the beach, and we're hoping that that's when the fish will start to come on the feed. So far for me, 1 whiting, which wasn't a bad size, to be fair. It would have made a nice fish cake, and 1 dogfish. Cliff has had 1 dogfish and a handful of whiting as well. Right, so I think that is his rig of the night. 2 whiting and a dogfish. Well done, buddy. I think it's a dogfish. I think it's a dogfish. Or it could be a big clump of seaweed. Oh no, it is a fish. It looks like a dogfish. I believe it is a dogfish. It is a dogfish. It is a dogfish. Right guys, there we go. Dogfish number 2 for me. Just on the bluey. It's really lip hooked, that one. Just right in the in the scissor. So yeah, let's get him unhooked and we'll get him back in. Yeah, so 2 dogfish for me tonight, 1 whiting so far. Beating the blank, which was pretty good. Definitely better than the last session we had at Seaford, but not the target fish that we're looking for, I'm afraid. When unhooking the dogfish, best thing to do is just grab the tail, just grab the head like that, and then you can just safely remove the hook from the mouth, like so. And there we go, off he goes, straight out into the sea. Right guys, last bait's in the water. I've chosen a bluey head, one of my favourite baits at the minute. Let's see if we can try and pull in another fish on a bluey head. Right, so last cast for me proved to be nothing, but Judging by the look of the bait, whatever it was, presumably dogfish, has taken the back half of the bait there. Right guys, so that is it for another session. It's been a pretty good session, to be fair, I won't lie to you. I've had good fun on this one, and I've really simplified it down tonight and just literally fished a really simple running ledger rig. Caught 2 dogfish, 1 whiting, so it's not been all's not been bad really. Cliff on the other hand has been fishing the smaller rigs while I've been fishing the bigger baits, and he's had about 11 whiting, I think it is, and about 3 or 4 dogfish. So yeah, we've scoped out a new area as well today. I think on its time down here in Pevensey Bay, especially through the warmer months, probably be really good out on the sand for the bass and things like that. So we're definitely going to come down and give it another go, maybe during the warmer months, because at the moment right now it's pretty cold. So I'm going to go home and get a hot chocolate, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for watching.